Obito's having a great time now that he's done acting in secret and finally gets to cut loose. He pursues Danzo, who is trying to escape the summit and is briefly held up by his two bodyguards. Predictably, he wipes the floor with them both. He does lose an arm to one of them, but doesn't seem too bothered by it. He catches up with Danzo, and true to his word, he brings Sasuke, along with Karin, out to let Sasuke collect his revenge. Sasuke goes all out on Danzo, and Obito sits on the side and watches, presumably with some popcorn and Sour Patch Kids. He's pleased that Sasuke has already developed his Susanoo, and is overall down with his overuse of his Mangekyo. Wonder why? After Sasuke beats this senior citizen within an inch of his life, Obito goes to collect Shisui's eye, which Danzo has been holding onto for him. Danzo tries to trap Obito and Sasuke with some sort of seal or whatever, but fails, like he does with everything, and the two Uchiha go on their merry way. Obito shows why he was so unbothered about losing an arm. Madara healing him with the White Zetsu marshmallow fluff gave him the same regenerative properties as them, and he's able to easily repair his arm. Finally, it's time to suit up for war. Almost. Zetsu informs him that Sasuke's getting a little scrappy and picking a fight with Naruto, and like the beleaguered babysitter that he is, Obito has to go in and break it up. Sasuke's been overusing his Mangekyo so much that he's already starting to lose his vision, and Obito opts to help him with this little problem. I guess he's been keeping Itachi's eyeballs in the fridge or something, because he's able to immediately just pop those right on in and go ahead and take care of his grown-up business, right? Of course not. It's the day of endless interruptions, and this time it's Kabuto bothering him. He wants to be besties with Obito because he thinks they have so much in common, but Obito disagrees because he didn't come here to make friends. Wait. Kabuto says, look what I can do, and uses Edo Tensei to bring back all the dead Akatsuki, namely Sasori, Deidara, Kakuzu, Itachi, and even Nagato. Neat, but Obito doesn't need them anymore, and he really has this thing he has to go get to, so good luck with that. Unfortunately for him, Kabuto was only asking as a courtesy, and saying no is not a luxury Obito has. He then revives the real Madara Uchiha, blowing up Obito's little impersonation game. Kabuto will help Obito with his war, and Obito will give Kabuto Sasuke. Discussion over. Obito reluctantly agrees, but won't give him Sasuke until he's done with them. This is fine with Kabuto. Now, if everyone is done interrupting, Obito has some eyeballs he has to go acquire. Before war breaks out, Obito still needs the rinnegan, and they just so happen to be with Nagato's original body, being completely wasted, so no one will mind if he just pops over real quick and nabs them. But someone does mind, and that someone is Konan. I've complained enough about this moment, and my position has not changed. Konan had him beat until he makes it easy no jutsu his way out of it. Unforgivable. Using Izanagi does cost Obito one of his Sharingan, but Obito still makes it out victorious. He defeats Konan and makes off with Nagato's body. Even losing an eye works out in his favor, the rotten cheat, because now his eye socket has a vacancy and it's all warmed up for a fresh rinnegan. It's not quite as powerful as it could be, because Obito is not exactly optimized for its use. But getting the White Zetsu marshmallow transplant still allows him to make pretty good use of it, and he is definitely more threatening with a single rinnegan than without it. Finally, it's time for war. Now, from here, we're going into the grand finale of the entire series, and I'm not trying to bore you or spoil things in great detail, so I'll just quickly hit the points that pertain to Obito. The war kicks off, and the two sides are essentially the entire shinobi world, known as the Allied Shinobi Forces, on one side, and Obito and Kabuto on the other, using White Zetsus and a resurrected army of Edo Tensei ninja to keep everybody occupied. Obito himself with his brand new rinnegan, utilizing his own form of the Six Paths of Pain, using the resurrected bodies of the former jinchuuriki, minus Gaara, Killer Bee, and Naruto. In order to complete his plan, he still needs the Biju from Naruto and Bee, so he engages them directly and does not have an easy time of it. Naruto kicks things off with a headbutt, then a few blows between the two, as Obito can't stop calling Naruto a fool. But Naruto flips the script, commenting that Obito's fresh new rinnegan looks just like the real Madara Uchiha's rinnegan, which tips Obito off that Kabuto has mobilized zombie Madara, essentially outing him as nothing but a pretender. The fight escalates as B and Gyuki attempt to take on the puppeted Jinchuuriki, while Naruto tries to take down a still masked Obito. Kakashi and Guy show up to join the fight, and in the ensuing chaos of the battle, Obito even has some of his puppeted Jinchuuriki release their full-tailed beasts, and Naruto is swallowed by the four-tailed beast, Son Goku. Obito wipes the accompanying sweat drop from his mask as he assumes that means Naruto is dealt with. But alas, not quite, as Son Goku, trying to look for a way to break free from Obito's control, communicates to Naruto the way to stop him and the other Biju, destroy the chakra receivers in their bodies. Naruto breaks free and, like a dramatic game of Whack-a-Biju, slowly breaks each chakra receiver in each beast, only for Obito to use the Gedo Mazo to seal them up if they aren't going to be following his orders. Meanwhile, B works to keep the Jinchuuriki bodies immobile, only for them to be released when Edo Tensei is, after Kabuto is defeated. Obito needs to buy a little time, and we, the audience, need a bit more development in this story, so there's a bit of back and forth between him and Kakashi. Kakashi realized that an attack he disappeared with his Kamui managed to damage Obito's mask when he had made himself intangible to their attacks. To test the theory, Kakashi sends one of Naruto's shadow clones away with Kamui while making it look like he was using Kamui to stop Obito's attack. Also that when they attack him again and Obito moves his body into the other dimension in order to phase through the attack, that shadow clone is ready to Rasengan him in the face, which breaks his mask and finally reveals to Kakashi that Obito is alive and very, very unwell. The real Madara shows up and chastises Obito for the plan going so off the rails. Given that Obito is a big old cheater though, he decides F it and uses the tentacle of the 8 tails that Sasuke brought back and the 9 tails chakra that was stored in the bodies of the Gold and Silver brothers in life, only for it to be used in their Edo Tensei form in death. Long story. This is just enough of the 8 and 9 tails chakra for the Gedo Mazo to think good enough and to begin transforming into the 10 tails. After the 10 tails is back, Madara decides it's time to get Obito to use Rinne Rebirth to bring him back in his full glory as opposed to this zombie form. But Obito hits Madara with a nah and absorbs the 10 tails, becoming its Jinchuuriki. In between chastising an Edo Tensei Minato for failing him as a teacher and a still living Kakashi for failing Rin, Obito sets up for initiating the Infinite Tsukiyomi, transforms the 10 tails into its World Tree form, and begins to usher in the end. Naruto and Sasuke decide this is their last chance and enlist the help of their classmates and the Shinobi Alliance for one last Hail Mary, distracting Obito long enough for everyone, with Naruto in the lead, to connect their chakra with the 10 tails and pull it from Obito's body. Obito, defeated, weak, and on the throes of death, is now waiting for Kakashi and everyone to arrive to finish him off when Minato says it's no longer necessary, essentially saying that Obito didn't just fail, he failed because the world came together to stop him, which shows that he was always wrong. Having lost, and like Nagato before him, he decides to use Rinne Rebirth to bring back everybody in the war that he killed. But before the end can materialize, Black Zetsu crashes the party, and continuing to play into the idea that he is a manifestation of Madara's will, he forces Obito to use Rinne Rebirth to bring Madara back in full. Madara tries to scoop up the rinnegan from Obito, as well as the 8 tails from B, and half of the Kyuubi from Naruto, turning towards Minato for the other half. Obito uses some of the last of his strength to prevent this and bring the remaining half of the Kyuubi that was stored in Minato to Naruto for immediate implantation to both save Naruto's life and give them a fighting chance against Madara. Obito asks Sakura to destroy his rinnegan so Madara can't have it, only for Madara to pop into the Kamui dimension sporting Kakashi's left eye. I do not know why they pretend swapping eyes is as easy as swapping shoes. Madara reveals that it was he who orchestrated Rin's death to manipulate Obito. He steals back the rinnegan, all before Obito loses consciousness. When Obito awakens, he learns that Madara succeeded in becoming the 10 tails Jinchuuriki, just for Black Zetsu to reveal that Madara was just as much of a pawn as anyone else had been in his goal to resurrect his mother, Kaguya Otsutsuki. Choosing to strive for redemption, however far out of reach that may be given his deeds, he chooses to fight Kaguya in his final moments. With his help, Team 7 are able to fight Kaguya long enough for Naruto and Sasuke to seal her away using the Yin and Yang release gifted to them by Hagoromo Otsutsuki, her son. And that's where Obito's story ends, finally fighting for the world that he had turned his back on years before. And that's it for the Akatsuki. Stylish, complex, heroic, villainous, and filled with more twists than a circus lollipop. Thanks to everyone who stuck it out, and definitely stick around for more in-depth breakdowns of characters from all sorts of different works and series. There's no shortage of villain teams out there.